Hello, hello, hello. Like Matthew McConaughey, all right, all right, all right. Hey everyone, nice to meet you. My name is Elvis Torres. I'm the product manager at LATICRETE for the concrete and substrate preparation division. So that handles all of NXT, supercap, moisture mitigation, repair products, the whole thing. And I'm pretty happy here to pretty much announce and let everyone know that in July we're going to be launching a new product, our NXT Level Plus Light. So what makes that product special? Well, it's lightweight. It does everything our NXT Level Plus product does, which is concrete, OSB, plywood. You don't need metal lath for any of those wood substrates. You just use one of our primers, which is our NXT primer or our prime and bond. So any of those two primers over the wood substrate and you're able to go on top of that with no problem. So what NXT Level Plus Light does is it takes the exact same properties, but we cut the weight in half. So instead of the bag weighing 55 pounds, our bag weighs 27 pounds. So it's literally half the weight dry, and then cured per cubic foot, the product weighs about 70 pounds per cubic foot versus your typical 125, 130 is what a typical self-leveler weighs. And even when you talk about lighter options in self-leveling, which is like gypsum, that's around 110 pounds per cubic foot. So still a very, very nice option for you to level a building which is structurally compromised. So you may have buildings that you're redoing, buildings that are older that can't take the weight of that self-leveler, which can, it grows quite a bit, especially if you're going really thick pours. So that's where NXT Level Plus Light opens that door for you to get those flat floors for your larger tiles, for any wood, vinyl, whatever finish that you're doing. So it's a great product. Its range is from a 1/4 inch all the way up to 3 inches thick in one pour. So very nice, eliminating lifts in between the products. So, eliminating additional prep, priming, all that stuff, you can just go in one shot. And believe it or not, there are floors that sometimes, I was even talking to a couple contractors where, your floor can go from 1/2 inch all the way up to 3 inches in one shot, depending on how off that concrete substrate is. So definitely that large range of depths is needed. So the product is fiber reinforced. So that again helps with the plywood and OSB for flexibility. And again, there's no sand in this product. So again, with LATICRETE thinking about the contractor, their health and safety, that was a big push for us as well. Overall, the product is great. For a lightweight product, it flows extremely well. Typically with lightweights, you get that fluffy, marshmallowy type of flow. You really have to push it around. You really have to maneuver it. I have to say that Plus Light is very nice to deal with. You get very similar properties like a standard self-leveler, and it really doesn't fight you. So that's another great thing. And what we're really, really happy to do is when you're developing these products, which just took about 2 years to develop, you always have to have a sacrifice between like strength and lightness. And I think we got the right balance of having that 70 pounds per cubic foot, but also being 4,000 PSI average. So it is very strong. Typically not the fact with lightweights because of the fact that you're giving up some of those aggregates that reinforce the product and make it nice and strong. So as you can see, Jill is pouring it right now. It's flowing, doing a lot of the work for your itself. And of course with any self-leveler, you just have to maneuver into place, make sure. You're typically going to pin the floor, see how much you have to go in depth, which we sell all the tools, at LATICRETE for doing that. We have our surveying tools and our application tools as well. So we are growing our line of tools to help the contractors out there, level these floors more exact and easier. So if anyone's willing to, go on the stage and want to play around with it, you're more than welcome to. No, we're really happy with this. It's taken a long time to get to this point. And again, LATICRETE launches products in 2 different launch windows. We have February and July, so this is coming out in July. So there was a very good question, actually even yesterday. So one of the questions was, well, how much does that even compare in difference in weight, like even transporting it? So a typical 18-wheeler would take 18 pallets worth of material. So if you subtract the weight, that's a 28,000 pound difference on a load, taking it if you were shipping NXT Plus Light versus the standard light. So huge weight savings there for transporting it, So you won't be cubing out the truck or anything like that. So easier on your equipment as well. I'm sorry? No, I mean, no, you're not gonna, again, the fiber reinforcement helps in the product. The question was, what about stress cracks? You know, obviously, could do the flexible substrate that you're going on. If it's built, you know, typical to L over 360 stiffness, you know, you're not gonna have any issues. That fiber reinforcement kind of interlocks and creates a nice ability for it to flex a little bit. So very common. Yes. I'm sorry? Yes. Okay, so the question was, do you need a primer? You do. You can either use two options that we have. We have our NXT primer, comes in a 1 gallon and 5 gallon, and it's diluted with water, so you can get a large amount of coverage out of it. For example, like, you know, we have different ratios depending on the substrate that you're going on, but you can do, like, for 1 gallon of primer, 3 gallons of water. So you can get a range up to, you know, 2,500 square feet per 5 gallon pail. So that's one option, and that's really helpful because since it's so liquid, you put it in a backpack sprayer, like what they use for lawns and stuff like that, and then you can just kind of walk around and spray it. It'll dry up, absorb into the substrate. It has like this nanotech that kind of really protrude. We've never had an issue with priming or delamination of any kind with that product. I have to say that is a high performing primer. It's done millions and millions and millions of square feet. And the other option that we have, which is a roll-on primer, is our Prime and Bond. So a lot of you in the tile world will be familiar with Prime and Bond. That's our easy to use, bond to anything primer, and we found out that it's extremely effective with self-levelers as well. So another example, if you have a tile floor that's really well bonded, you're like, I don't want to demo this out, I could just like level on top of it, then you could roll Prime and Bond on top of it and then just level. So there's a lot of great options with Prime and Bond, really great new go-to primer for us as well. And great for, there's no thinking into it. Pop the lid, roll it on with a roller, you're good to go. So that's a great, and that's available in a 1 gallon and also a 3.5 gallon unit. Really, really great primer for self-leveling. But this is going to be a great utilized project, again, for those buildings that are having structural issues that need a lighter system in it. I mean, there's buildings that we pumped 80 million pounds worth of self-leveling. Now, yeah, structural engineers are doing those calculations, making sure that building can take that weight. But if you have the ability to cut that weight literally in half, you know, free the building from all that live load, because then you still don't have the furniture, you still don't have all the utilities in there, the people. So again, it ends up being a great product for those type of applications. There's 56, another good question was the packaging. So it's in our plastic bags. Phenomenal, great with weathering and everything like that. You know, they have very resistant with moisture, keeping moisture out of the product as well. I've literally seen, I can't even believe it, like some houses have even flooded with our material in it, and when they take the water out, they're still able to use the material. That's how well our bags protect water from getting in. And there's 56 bags per pallet. So, but same volume as a 55-pound bag. So it's funny, you're kind of walking around with a huge bag going like that to people, and they're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, question? Sure.
What's the difference other than the lightness using an NXT primer or NXT level?
Not pretty much. The lightness is the biggest key differentiator. So the question was, what's the main difference between NXT Level Plus and then NXT Level Plus Light? It's the weight, really. I mean, of course, NXT Level Plus has a little bit more strength. It's around 5,500 psi, you know, but it's a 2-inch limit versus a 3-inch limit on the Plus Light. So there's some benefits to it, but again, I mean, for a lightweight product, we have when you're critiquing the product and building it and kind of you have to pick the best of all the worlds, you know, and that's why it literally took us 2 years to develop the product, because we're extremely like picky with what we're looking for. So I think we found the perfect thing. 4,000 psi. It even goes up higher than that as well. It's just an average of 4,000 psi, but I mean that's a great strength for a lightweight SLU. Question.
Also stick tile directly over it after.
Yes, very good question. Timing for putting tile over it, as soon as you are able to walk on it. So if it's not moisture sensitive tile, 3 to 4 hours, you're able to walk on this product, and then you're able to start installing tile. Moisture sensitive flooring, 24 hours. So you can start putting your wood, your vinyl, everything like that on top of it after 24 hours. But tile, yeah, as soon as you're able to walk on it, you're good to go. And our NXT Level Plus is slightly faster by like an hour. So 2 to 3 hours for NXT Level Plus. NXT Level Plus Light is 3 to 4. So, and then also too, for moisture sensitive with the Plus version, that's a little bit faster at 12 hours. So, a little bit slower, but not too bad. again, a little bit of a compromise, but overall performing the same. The biggest thing is the plywood and OSB. I mean, finding a product that bonds to OSB and plywood without the use of lath, as they say, like no blood is required, right? Because you're always cutting yourself up. You can't find lath. It's expensive, so on and so forth. So that's been a huge thing. A lot of our contractors have used the product in bathrooms, outside the bathrooms, you know, to level and put tile and everything like that. So it does have microban in it, so antibacterial component that we put in it to prevent mold and stuff like that. So obviously in the shower, bathroom setting, not in the shower, but outside the shower, very effective. I don't think you want your shower pan flat. That's not going to really help with water evacuation. So, and then from here we have our next product that we launched last year. So I just wanted to keep the whole lightweight theme going. So this was another 2 years in development. So our Skim Light. This is a very, very hard product to develop, because you can meet numbers, right? You can meet compressor strengths, you can aim for flexural strength, but touch and feel is the hardest thing to gauge. There is no measurement for it. So this product was extremely heavily field trialed with our installers. And they gave us feedback, not creamy enough, too stiff, X, Y, and Z. So I think we found the perfect ratio of feel. The product is lightweight, so it's an 8-pound bag, but it's giving you the volume of 13 pounds. So you have a 13-pound volume, but it only weighs 8 pounds. So for coverages, you're getting higher coverages. So on a rough surface, like this OSB board over here, you're gonna get like around 190, 200 square feet per bag. And then on a much smoother surface, like plywood, for example, that you're filling in just like the holes and stuff like that, you're gonna probably get around 380 square feet to the bag. So real great coverage, fiber reinforced. This thing has so many features, I honestly forget it. So it's fiber reinforced. It goes onto concrete, which can be up to 100% RH. So you can go under moisture mitigation, which is great. So we all know that moisture mitigation is an expensive product. It's a well-needed product, especially in Florida. If you're from here, you have moisture all over the place. So what people like to do is fill in all those bug holes, all those cracks with a skim, which is obviously cheaper, and then they put the moisture barrier on top of that. So usually a lot of these skims, they break down when they're in high moisture because of some of the components that are in them that are not very water friendly. So we found it a great benefit to that product was that, the 100% RH. So again, I mentioned it was fiber reinforced, the high coverage, it's caster wheel safe. So a lot of times you're skimming, like for example, a hospital floor. After that, they're rolling things on top of it, high point load with caster wheels. So believe it or not, this product actually has a stronger surface than our overlays. So once cured, it's able to take a nice amount of force from that. It's high point load, just like a heel or anything like that. And then it's also exterior rated as well, so interior or exterior. And we just, again, wanted to cram as many features as you can. Number one, for our distributors, that to have 15 skims on the shelf. You just one and done, you grab it, and you're good to go. So very, very happy. If anyone's wants to play around with it as well, you know, you're more than welcome to come up here and skim it a little bit. But as you can see, geez, kind of flattening out all those edges on that OSB, which is a really good test and testament to how nice the product is, creamy-wise, and also just filling in all those voids. A lot of the adhesives nowadays, you know, require a cementitious surface to bond to. So again, that's why you would also skim plywood or anything like that. So this actually comes, typically other skims are packaged by 4. This is not. Because of the unique size of the bag, we just sell it individual on a pallet, and you get 96 bags per pallet. So nice little convenient packaging. Actually, have to say we stole it from our Permacolor, same size as our Permacolor 13-pound bag. So I was able to utilize that same bag for this product, and it worked out perfectly, actually. So really, really happy with how that product came out. Again, feel is everything. You can take, 2 quarts of water is what we recommend for just a nice skimming. You can hold that water a little bit, and then you can actually use it as a pre-fill, which you can level up. You can fill up to 1 inch thick. So from paper thin, you can even almost translucent to up to 1 inch. So nice large ratio there for repairing concrete and any other substrate. And finally, I kind of wanted to show off a new toy that we brought to the line, which is our Pro Cart. We launched the Pro Mix Station. It was extremely successful. People loved it, but I'm always listening into feedback and everything like that. And the feedback that came through was like, hey, it's great, I love it, but the thing is like, I really hate disconnecting the cord every time I got to run to apply self-leveler. So if anyone, this is actually a mixer that mixes our self-levelers and our overlays. It's a 2-speed drill, and you can fit 3 bags in it. You can squeeze 4, but 3 very comfortably. It's tiltable. It goes, it could be applied in a lot of different locations, and that drill is actually removable as well because it comes with 2 different blades. It comes with an SLU, SLO blade, and also a mortar blade. So you're mixing mortar beds, tile, whatever. So it's multifunctional. You can easily remove it off of the top of that frame. But then they were like, I don't want to remove the cord. So I said, okay, well, you can easily put about 6 pallets stacked side by side and just a 4x8 on top of it, elevate the Pro cart like it is elevated right here, and then, the Pro Mix Station, and then have your Pro cart on the floor. And this is basically your runner. So this continuously mixes and keeps on going, and then this guy will go run and deliver the product and come right back. And I've seen contractors have 2, 3 of these going at the same time, and then you're just like nonstop. People are running back and forth, and those don't even have to move. So nice little trick. I've also seen people just remove the drill and put it on this one, and then that one goes. Different option as well, obviously, if you don't have pallets or anything like that. But typically, if you're on a job site, you're ordering a lot of material, it's coming on pallets, you're typically throwing those out outside in the dumpster. You can utilize them to build yourself a nice little platform to have everything to the height. So, any questions on our tools? If you're really into pumping and you have a large space, so we have this. It's like our entry level. Actually, we have even one smaller, which is like a 15-gallon tub, and that one about 10 to 15-gallon tub, and that one has a bunch of our leveling tools in it: spike shoes, spreader smoother, gauge rake, a bunch of real nice tools, higher end. Then from there, you graduate to this, and then from this, we have a pump program. So if you're leveling a building and you buy sufficient amount of one of our products, we are able to lend you a pump to pump that material. And then from there, then you go to the biggest one, which is our super cap system, which is high volume pumping, which you can pump 30,000 pounds an hour with that. So it's a real nice piece of machinery there, pump multiple floors. Pretty much with stage pumps, you can go as high as you want. So, any questions on all that great material? All right, have a great day. If anyone has any questions, we're going to be up here dismantling everything. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.